What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at movies that traumatized me as a little kid, and without further ado, let's just get right into it. You see, when I was a wee little lad, there were many things that made me scared. For example, my toilet. Now you see, the toilet at my house had this scary ass flush noise. It sounded like there was a damn choir in that hole. With every flush, I would immediately run out of there. I know, I didn't wash my hands. Some of you hearing this right now might be judging me, but back then, it was damn near survival of the fittest. If I didn't run out of that bathroom, the people singing in the toilet would have gotten me, man. Now, that was only one thing that traumatized me, but a lot of what did scare me was movies. The first one I want to talk about is The Grudge. When I watched The Grudge for the first time, I was around the age of, I want to say 5. We were at my cousin's house and it was very late and very dark. I remember seeing her now pretty face, but back then, it was the stuff of nightmares. Ever since I watched that movie, I've been afraid of blankets, stairs, and showering. Now, you've already judged me for running out of the bathroom without washing my hands. But back then, because of The Grudge, I would not shower in fear of her hand coming out of my hair. That scene alone forever changed my stinky fate. I remember not showering for literal months at a time until my stink ass was too much to be around, so my mother would make me shower. As if that wasn't bad enough. Now, my shower was kind of scary too. It had these light-proof curtains that made it really dark. Every time I was forced to shower, I would turn the water on and wait for a few seconds, then just come out. But then, of course, I was called out on my bullshit and forced to sit there until I was clean. It most definitely fucked with my vision as well due to the amount of times I opened my eyes while shampooing my hair because I was too damn scared. Showers weren't the only thing that movie ruined for me. It also ruined my sleep. Now, I shared a room with my 2 older brothers, and I remember having some pretty crazy night terrors because of that movie. Oh yeah, and we had bunk beds, which I slept on the top, and when I would wake up, it didn't help either. I would wake up to see Toshio, the little pale boy, gripping the rails watching me sleep. This happened frequently. Also, going under my blanket did not help, as when I would lift the covers, the Grudge lady would be there waiting to drag me under. It's like the creator of The Grudge, and I mean like the original Japanese guy who created it, just wanted to make children scared of everything. Like, I couldn't even enjoy being under the covers, and that's the one spot that every horror movie protagonist can agree on being the safest place. Now, we lived in the Midwest, and that meant that my house had a basement. And you know what that means? Every time my mom would ask me to get something down there, I would literally have like a panic attack. Running down with the speed of a damn golden retriever puppy, I would look and get so scared that I would just run back up and say I couldn't find it. And oh boy, my mother would not be happy with me. But of course, I have gone back and seen the whole franchise, and I don't mean just the American version, I mean all the Japanese movies as well. There's a lot of them. She doesn't scare me anymore. I actually kind of find her attractive. Shout out to her actress. Moving on to the next movie, and it's... As I have mentioned, I shared a room with my 2 brothers, and one night, they were watching the trailer for it. And just hearing it alone spooked me so much that I was screaming for them to turn it off. And of course, like a typical older sibling, they turned that shit up to the max volume. Now it got so bad that I had to run to my mom, who was in the kitchen preparing to go to work, and tell her to tell them to shut it off. Then they got yelled at, and I got my good night's sleep. Now, I didn't watch this movie for about another 2 years after it came out, and I was still very little. You see, my family had this tradition where every once in a great while, we would go to Family Video and pick out movies. Some of you watching this probably don't even know what that is. And that day, my dad picked out Paranormal Activity. Just a side note, just going inside scared the shit out of me because of the horror movie section. I remember closing my eyes and only looking when I was out of there, bumping into people and shit. Man, how I wish I could go back into that building one last time. Anyways, watching Paranormal Activity only strengthened my fears of basements, again, sleep, and now the kitchen.
Raw. It's fucking raw.
This also made me feel like I was being seen when I was alone in my room. The paranoia was bumped up to an 11. I never laid on the ground because I was like, if I lay here, something's gonna drag me to the basement. Now, I was young enough to where some of my friends in school still had imaginary friends. and this scared the absolute shit out of me. Like, I thought they all had demons following them, and when they were playing tag or some shit and they would mention that their friend was following, I ran even faster. Because of that, I was usually never it. They would all just say, "Man, you're so fast," but I would not give a shit because I wasn't running for the fun of it. I was running for my life. I feel like this is the biggest influence on me not wanting to be a part of any pictures or videos. And if you have seen the movie, you know why. For the longest time, I feared pictures of myself. Whenever asked to pose on a trip, I would always decline. Even now, there's barely any pictures of myself when I was a kid. All because of this one movie. The ending scene of Paranormal Activity also just completely destroyed me ever being comfortable in the dark. Like, the Grudge had scenes in the dark, but for some reason, it didn't affect me that much until I saw this movie. It was probably due to the fast forward camera sections when they were sleeping and things would happen. But after this movie, if I didn't have anybody with me, even if I had a flashlight, I would not walk out into the darkness. I remember waking up at night and constantly begging my brothers to open the lights so I could go pee. Deadass, I think one time I did pee myself because they ignored me, which is fair. I would get annoyed of me too. The last movie I want to talk about might surprise you or not because it's being thumbnail. That movie is Spider-Man 3. When you think of the Raimi Spider-Man series, you probably remember it being peak. It was being a good movie. And finally, introducing superheroes so that they could be taken a bit more seriously. But for the longest time, whenever I remembered the Raimi series, I can only think about how Spider-Man 3 caused me so many nightmares. The reason? This guy. Like, do you blame me? This movie, again, I watched it when I was very young, but come on, just listen to this. Man, I'm starting to sound like a puss, but come on. You can't blame me. Let me know in the comments if you ever been scared from Spider-Man 3. Or any Spider-Man movie for a matter of fact. Do you think a child will hear this and see this and not be scared? Like, I guess Sam Raimi was a horror movie director, right? He directed The Evil Dead. And funny enough, the American Grudge remake. Like, this man was on some demon time making Venom that scary. I know he has very sharp teeth in the comics. That I can excuse. But this sound? NANI? I know it's a comic, and well, comics don't make sounds, but in the cartoons that came out before Spider-Man the movie, especially the third one, Venom did not make a sound like that. This was just there to scare the children. Man, I swear. Don't even get me started on the numerous jump scares that happened throughout the movie. And I'm not even just talking about Spider-Man 3, where the biggest jump scare lies. Okay, just kidding. But there were jump scares in Spider-Man 1. That scene with the Goblin? Actually, both scenes with the Goblin, especially in 3 where Harry sees his father. I was a kid watching his favorite superhero while holding my hands close to my eyes because of the jump scares. Like, you cannot tell me that this was not straight out of a horror movie. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Every time this monster opens its mouth, I jump with fear. Looking at it now, Sam Raimi did a great job. The fact that it scared me shows. Venom is supposed to be scary, and me, now as an adult, if I saw a sharp-toothed Spider-Man looking thing swinging towards me, I would shit my pants. That's all I'm going to talk about today. I was just reminiscing and wanted to make this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed even just a little bit, I would appreciate it if you could drop a like, a sub, and let me know what traumatized you as a kid. Even if you don't, I'm just glad you're here. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.